Dr.
Thank
Santosh,
you.
please.
Thank you, Dr. Patnaik. I'm really privileged to be part of this session, and I thought this is the most difficult presentation in the series. But now I feel this has become very easy for me because most of the things have been covered by Professor Subodhi, Dr. Patnaik, and Dr. Mathur, and following me, there are stalwarts like Dr. Sumina and Dr. Nirmal. So I feel a little relaxed. I have no financial disclosure. As you can see in the list of the things already, OT complex design is covered. Disinfection process in OR and equipments covered by Dr. Patnaik, and sterilization process is also covered. I'm coming to the validation of sterilization. Yes. So sterilization is, as you all know, is the process where uh, all the microorganisms are killed, including the bacterial spores. And for documentation purpose, we should understand what is a sterility assurance level. That is reduction of anticipated levels of contamination into a load to a point where probability of survival of any organism is less than 10 to the power minus 6. And this is the sterilization cycle. You can see starts with cleaning, and very elaborately Dr. Patnaik has clarified in which way the instruments should be cleaned. And after cleaning, it has to be air dried, either by a blower or by simple room air drying with AC on, and all the surfaces needs to be exposed to air so that a proper drying is maintained. This drying also applies to not only the instruments, also to all the surfaces on the OT, including floors, tables, and trolleys, etc. And third step is sterilization, where you need to pack the instruments properly and then go for sterilization either by dry sterilization or the steam sterilization. And after sterilization, the instruments need to be properly stored and labeled. And each person responsible for each of the things should have a fixed responsibility, sign a register as discussed, and storage packages needs to be properly inspected before being used. So utilization is a process where all the stored items which are already sterilized are going to be utilized inside the OT. Then after utilization, the same process of cleaning, drying, sterilization follows in the cycle. This is called the sterilization cycle and need to be well documented with SOP for each OT. So this is the most important backbone for each OT. Theater sterile supply units should be well maintained with clean zone and utility zone and inside OR. All these units need to have fixed persons responsible, and once they are contacted, they need to come to the next zone to receive the instruments, and then the flow of instruments goes like the way I just discussed in my previous slide. The sterilization method already just described by Sabyasachi Patnaik and includes both steam and dry heat. The steam is...
Sir, may I request you kindly conclude in next 30 seconds?
No, no problem. There is time.
Yes.
Continue. You continue.
He just started. So let him continue. Please
your timer is not set. Your timer is not set.
The steam sterilization is usually autoclave with timings of 150 degrees centigrade for 25 minutes and is usually lethal to all the bacteria, viruses, and spores. And all the lylens and metallic instruments are sterilized with it. But the disadvantage is it needs to be, the items need to be heat and moisture resistant. This is the most commonly used sterilization method in most of our ophthalmic OTs, followed by ETO. This is just dry heat either in 5 psi for 12 hours or 10 psi for 6 hours. Advantage is that it works in a lower temperature, but disadvantage, it is toxic to humans and it can be explosive sometimes. But it is very useful for heat labile instruments, tubings like phaco and vitrectomy, cassettes and probes. And the third one is a plasma activated, which is usually not used in most of the time. So coming to the validation of steam sterilization, the qualification and calibration are most important. Complete removal of air from the chamber and replacement of saturated steam is the key principle on which this works. The older models use gravity displacement system, and the newer models now use the cycles of vacuum and steam pulses to increase the efficiency of air removal. The selection and calibration of thermocouples is very important because accuracy of thermocouples are the backbones on which this validation process depends upon. And a degree up to 0.5 centigrade in thermocouple accuracy is needed to validate the sterilization process. So there are different indicators as discussed previously, and the biological indicators usually are not clinically very commonly used, but they can be spore strips or self-contained vials or spore suspensions, which can be used for different process of sterilization. Autoclave indicators, there are 6 types, but class 1, 2, and 3 are the most commonly used. Class 1 is indicator tape. Class 2 is bioetic test, and class 3 is the used for ETO. Chemical sterilization usually not commonly used, but whenever it is used outside the operation theater, the indicator needs to be well red and it should be a deep blue in color. This is the most commonly used strip in autoclave, and before the autoclave, this is blue. The strips are yellow in color, which must turn to deep black. Anything in between color is not acceptable, like brown or low intensity black colors are not acceptable because they indicate incomplete sterilization. And they have each, after sterilization, one person need to enter it into the registration like this and sign it. The pre-sterilization evaluation of autoclave, the most commonly used is biodisk test, and it is mandatory for pre-vacuum sterilization and has to be carried out on daily basis. And these are the different ways which you can see. This is the where they are uniformly colored, and the colors are not of very dark like this or very light like this. So rest are not good. Like you can see in the blue at the center, this is superheated with steam, blue at the periphery. So these are not acceptable. This is the most ideal color and should look for. The pre-sterilization evaluation, sterilization vacuum performance is acceptable if sit inside the test package so uniform color. And on the surface also, it has to be red. ETO is now the most commonly used sterilizer for most of the operation theater. It consists of 5 cycles: gas introduction, evacuation with humidification, exposure, evacuation of the instruments, and air masses. And here we don't validate the microorganism death, but the endotoxin challenge vials are placed in cold spots of the dry heat oven, and they are compared with the ones placed outside. So in the validation process, one must verify these data. What is the concentration of ETO released in the vessel? What is the concentration of water vapor in the vessel? What is the range of temperature distribution? How much ETO consumed during the cycle? What are the rates of creating vacuum and pressure? And does the selected cycle sterilize the product fully? And all these questions need to be answered and documented on the register. This is a pack from our OT, where this is the pre-ETO pack. You can see the color of the ETO strips at the periphery. You can see the color change, which is very well seen here. And these are usually used for vitrectomy cutter like this, or a phaco tip. And the validation report must, it's the common element for all the reports, with an identification mark that with a number, and a protocol reference should always be placed. A brief summary of the range of operational conditions should be mentioned, with a brief description if there is any deviation from the usual process mentioned in SOP. And there need to be a conclusion line, and all reports should be reviewed and approved by the hospital authorities. So all OT should have SOP for everything. Role and responsibility of each health care worker, maintenance of registers, maintenance of the sterilization cycle, protocol for sterilization failure if it happens anytime, and protocol for biomedical waste management. I'll just show a photograph of two of my OT registers. This is a register, ETO register, where each thing is mentioned, the person who has packed it, and the items packed, verification tag which is put after the instruments come out, and sign of the person who has verified it. Like that, this is another register of OT cleaning and fumigation register. And this is, you can see the date is mentioned, the 14th May 2021. We have 6 OTs, OT 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is mentioned. And the person who has done the cleaning and fumigation, the name is mentioned, and it is verified by me either weekly or monthly.
No, that is to be done daily.
Daily basis, they do it daily basis, but I countersign it every week.
No, that is correct, but it is surgeon's responsibility to verify that everything has been done properly in the same day.
There is another paper which is being signed by each OT surgeon.
Yes.
Inside the OT.
Yes.
The protocol for sterilization failure also need to be very much outlined. Take the sterilizer which caused a failure out of service. Collect all items sterilized since last negative spore test, and re-sterilize the items in another sterilizer. Review operation protocol of the sterilization. Operator error if it is suspected, then reset the sterilization and observe the cycle again. And the spore test, if it is negative, sterilization can be reused, but if it is positive, definitely you have to repair or replace the sterilization. Biomedical waste management, we all know there are different colors for different items, and this is how we maintain it in our OT. And this has to be followed in this cycle. We should have in-house segregation of all items. There should be a common place for storage point, and it is transported by usually in our hospital, we have given the responsibility to Saniclean, who does the transportation and unloading in different units, then treatment and disposal. So this covers most of the part of it. So the proper validation and documentation of sterilization process is the prerequisite for any infection-free operative procedure. Hence needs to be well maintained following SOP of each institute in adherence with the NABS guidelines. Thank you.
So thanks, Dr. Mahapatra, for this excellent presentation and documentation. What we have discussed so far is sterilization procedure is important, and along with that, the documentation of everything is very important. So we have to, as Dr. Satangshu Mathur has explained in detail, so what are the steps, and again, who is the person assigned to do that? So that is also to be mentioned and to be monitored daily, whether it is properly done or not. And as the head of the institution, Dr. Santosh Mahapatra has rightly verified weekly or monthly the entire register, whether it is been properly maintained or not. So these are the things. Our essence of giving the message to all the audience is you have to do properly and also document it properly. So this is what we want to emphasize. Now we have Dr. Samina Jamindar with us. She is acclaimed specialist on these issues and NABH accreditor also for most of the institutions of the country, and she is a well-known figure in this line.